Hey, happy Monday, everybody. So it's been quite a weekend, and we got some sad news Saturday, I think it was, that the very well known and really legendary musician Little Richard had died. Okay, and Little Richard, if you maybe have heard that name, but you don't really know who that is or what he's famous for, he was kind of, they call him the architect of rock and roll. He was probably one of the founding fathers, if you will, the Mount Rushmore of rock and roll, along with Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis, Fats Domino, Chuck Berry. Little Richard is right up there with all the rest of those guys. And he was well known as a singer and for his wild stage persona, and also his very rollicking, pounding piano playing. Okay, so I thought it would be cool to learn a simple sort of a blues lick. Let's call it a rhythm piano lick. Okay, it's sort of you're playing piano, but you're just kind of playing chords with a little embellishment. And this is a very bluesy thing that totally goes along with the kind of thing that Little Richard might have played. Okay. So what we're going to do is, this is in the key of C, and we're going to place both hands in the C position, okay? So my right hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and my left hand, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just like that, okay? So we should even be able to play a C major chord with both hands, even both hands together if we want, right? Now what I want you to do first is take your left hand and take your middle finger off. So rather than playing a full chord, you're just playing that perfect fifth interval, okay, with your pinky and your thumb, just like that. And what we're gonna do is play that, and we're gonna get it rocking with eighth notes. Okay, so our eighth notes are going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and just give me some of that, and 2 and 3 and 4, and go ahead and bring your right hand back in and play some eighth notes with that too. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and getting a little rhythm going, right? Okay, cool. Now, if you remember a few weeks ago, we had a lesson where we talked about chord inversions. And in particular, we were talking about a 1-4-5 progression. Okay, and if you remember, in the key of C, our 1 chord would be C, and our 4 chord is F. And rather than play F up here, I'm just going to play F right here in second inversion. Okay, so my C, F, and A are lined up in the right hand. And to match that in the left hand, I'm not going to play the full chord, but I am going to move my thumb up one whole step to A. So now my left hand is playing C and A, like that, a major sixth interval. Okay, and go ahead, let's rock the eighth notes in that position. Now we're playing the F major chord. All eighth notes, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? Now let's mix them up a little bit. Start with C, and then F. All right, give me a measure of each. Move both hands, remember? Let's try that again. C, and here's F. Okay, let's shorten that. Now let's just do 2 of each. Yes, there we go. 1 to 4. You with me? Okay, good. Good news, the left hand is not going to change from that. It's going to play that this whole time through this pattern. The right hand, however, has one more embellishment to make. So what I'd like you to try is play your C to F, but on that last eighth note of the pattern, okay, if we're going 1 and 2, on the end of 2, rather than play another F chord, I want you to bring your index finger down and play the E flat. That right there, the minor third in the scale, right? So, and hear how that changes things, how that sort of spices things up a little bit. And then bring it up to E. And if you're following along at home, that's going to complete the pattern, right? See what's happening here? Okay, when we go to that E flat, let's add in the G with your ring finger as well. Give it a little harmony. I don't know if I like both of those. That's a nice little variation. You could either keep your pinky on A for the little variation, the E flat, or move the ring finger down to G. What we're doing here is injecting elements of the blues into our pattern. That E flat is a very prominent note in what we call the C blues scale, okay, which we'll do a lesson on that later in the week. But by bringing that in and then moving it quickly up to the E, up to the major C, that's a very bluesistic, a very blues-like flavor, isn't it? I even kind of put a little emphasis on that E flat too. Okay, let's add the left hand back in. Yeah, now that the left hand's in, I definitely like the right hand moving in to the ring finger. Okay, this is the kind of thing that Little Richard maybe would have played in Long Tall Sally, okay? But he would have sped it up, right? Because a lot of his music is very fast. It's this rock and roll. It's 2.5-minute songs just pushing through all the way to the end, okay? And it features these eighth notes. Sometimes he'll go high, that kind of a thing, you know? Sometimes it's low rhythm piano, like I was saying. Okay? But the other element it has to it is there's a little bit of a swing to it, and it's not so swung that it's going like with a contemporary or a conventional shuffle, but it's got just a little bit of swing to it. It's kind of somewhere in between a straight feel and a swung feel. We're playing in between the cracks. Hear that little pulse it's got? That's rock and roll, baby. All right, rock and roll comes directly from the blues, from rhythm and blues, from jazz. And this is all the language, all the flavor that we're taking from those musics and putting it into rock and roll. And Little Richard was an amazing alchemist, and he did it so well. And we'll look at that blues scale later in the week and talk about how we can use that to spice up our playing, add a little different flavor, and really become fluent in the language of the blues.